Career planning is really the human side of what we've heard some about today. What do people do day to day? That's great. You'll collect a lot of different stories. You will hear a lot about the mechanics of certain industries, of certain jobs, of certain roles. But how does that fit into your career plan? How does that address what it is that you want to do? How does that address what your skills are? How does that fit in with your personal interests, your life goals, whether you want to start a family, live in Europe, grow old alone somewhere? Those are all choices that you have to make that give context to your professional decisions, and specifically to your career plan. A career plan has to fit in with those different elements, and those different elements do take a lot of time to navigate. You do have to spend time understanding yourself, what you're capable of, what you enjoy most, what you want out of life, and then in that realm can you make certain career decisions. Now, I understand that you either have your first job, or you're looking for your first job, or you're still in school and you're on an internship, and you sort of don't really care about a lot of those things. I get it. But at the same time, career planning takes a couple of different horizons. So your most immediate career plan is probably getting that first job, getting that internship, showing the professional community that you can do what's expected of you. Turn around certain projects, code the right code, not make any mistakes. Those are all big deals. But what does matter, once you begin taking those first few steps, is what is important to you, how do you wish to define your career, what do you want out of it, because ultimately your career fits in with your life objectives. And again, not that you know what those are, but time moves extremely quickly, and you'll be in the position before long where you're looking to make certain changes with respect to your life, how you want to live your life, and then those decisions do impact your career. So it's a bit of a balancing act, and there are multiple horizons involved. Getting that first job, obviously key, but very quickly you move beyond the point where you've got that and you've done well, and now how does that integrate with what comes next? One of the biggest challenges, though, is that the cycle of change in industry is actually changing, in my view, quite a bit faster than it ever used to. So that the decisions you make to join a company or to live in a particular area are shorter in duration. It's no longer join IBM, retire 30 years later. A lot changes in a very short period of time, not the least of which is that the companies themselves change, mergers and acquisitions, bankruptcies, companies grow, companies have spin-offs, technology changes, and that's all one piece of your life. Your life interest changes as well. So change is the one constant. You will have to account for that, both on the personal side and on the professional side. Now, also seems reasonably obvious that those things are true. One question is, how do you prepare for that? It ain't easy. You got to spend a lot of time listening to the stories of the individuals that were here today, of course, but also you have to ask yourself some pretty tough questions along the way. Do I have the skills to support what it is that I'm pursuing? Do I have that particular interest? Does it fit with where I want to be in X number of years? And that horizon could be 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, or pick a number. But ultimately, your exploration of what it is that you want out of life and drives what it is that you can get out of your career. The two are not always in sync. As I said, technology changes, the landscape changes, the available opportunity set changes. So you need to think about your skill set, your interests, often in different ways. And I'll give a quick anecdote. I taught a class at Rutgers Business School on quant finance, and in quant finance, everybody thought of themselves, all the students, I should say, thought of themselves finance first. Quantitative was qualifying finance. You know, the challenge there is finance is actually not having the smoothest of decades. Not that it's a bad decade for finance, but it's certainly had its fair share of challenges. When if you're a quant and you're really good with big data or you're good with numbers, healthcare is interested, biotech is interested. Even within finance, there are key pockets that have very high demand outside of what the core traditional financial opportunity set might be. That could be the credit card companies, that could be PayPal, that could be Amazon. And so how you think about yourself and your skill sets, in some sense, defines your opportunity set. Those are very hard questions to ask yourself, mainly because you may not even know what the questions are. But having conversations with your classmates, with professionals in the industry, do help with a lot of that exploration, so you can find the answers that you're looking for. And it's not that you're looking for an answer today, or tomorrow, or any particular point in time, but simply to remain cognizant of what is occurring around you, both personally and professionally, to navigate it. Because that change can hit you pretty hard, and it can hit you pretty suddenly. Now, that's not a warning. That's not fire and brimstone. But there is a degree of severe reality to that. To manage your personal life is to manage your career progression as well. The two go hand in hand. And that is one of the most worthwhile expenditures of time that you can make for yourself, especially now, before you've set off in any particular direction. The key to all of this is that you're allowed to make a mistake. You're smart, well-educated, possibly well-traveled, well-spoken. You've got a lot going for you. You can take the risks. So you can pursue your interests. You can pursue actually whatever it is you choose to pursue and probably be okay. You lose a little bit of that over time. Once you've started to settle down, once you've started to build other aspects of your life, by then you will have wanted to have established a skill set, a career, a presence in a particular industry through which you are well known and accomplished and can actually meet the personal goals of your life. So that said, I want to talk a little bit about my personal experience, loosely defined. So the first bullet point that I put up there is you got your tech in my finance. So as head of research at MarketAxess, we are squarely in the financial markets. We provide the venue that allows for credit to trade electronically, and we're the leader in that space. We are also, in the very same breath, a technology firm. We build that from scratch. We are wired up with all of the dealers in that community, with all the clients in that community. We trade an awful lot of data with them. It's a data-driven business. Technology is at the heart of MarketAxess. And it's an interesting vantage point for me because when I graduated, I have a degree in engineering, I started with Anderson Consulting, which since became Accenture, in a technology role, programmer. Turns out I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all, actually. So I went back to business school and got a degree in finance to join a trading desk. And lo and behold, when I joined the trading desk, it's mostly programmers. Now, that's not a bad thing. I was still a trader, but I had to be able to speak their language. I had to be able to walk them through exactly what it is that I needed them to do so that they could do it well and they could deliver for me. And since that day, I have never been more than an arm's length away from technology. In fact, my day-to-day job now is essentially data. It's research. So I have very talented people on my team that work exclusively with data. programming languages that didn't exist long ago, that I have no clue how to operate them, but they do. And the key is that I know how those things work, that I can manage that and speak to it, even if I can't do it myself. And I know what role it's supposed to play for the company to be successful. And that's the key there. So even though long ago I made a decision to leave programming, went back to business school, spent a lot of money to get an MBA, to join a trading desk, I didn't actually get very far. Could not move very far away from that because technology is at the heart of it. And it's still in every step along the way, in every element of the financial services companies that I've worked for, technology has been the key driver of it. Thank you.